This one is from Tabs Inner Voice. It says, so I'm saving for a new house. Should we do any upgrades to our current house to get more out of the sale, or should we sell it as is? It's currently paid off and probably valued around $200K, and they are dinks, double income, no kids.
Let me say something. When you go to find a real estate agent, I need you to find a real estate agent just doesn't tell you what you need to hear. I've worked with
what you want to hear. That's what you need to hear. Yeah, what you want to hear.
Find somebody who's a little more seasoned. You will find who the good I have worked with a number of real estate agents, and they're not all created equal. And the ones that are good, they're really good.
Really good.
I've had two really great real estate agents I've worked with, and both of them, like I think about this transaction recently down in Florida. She's still, I mean, she logistically, she's organized, but she also didn't pull punches on things that we were maybe blind spots or not thinking about. So if you find somebody who is not going to tell you just what you want to hear, because there are some real estate agents say, hey, when you say, I want to list the house for this, like, yeah, that's great. And we're like, well, wait a minute, do you have any supporting on that? They might not. They might just say, we'll just put it out there and see what happens. That's not what you want your real estate agent. And then if they say, hey, can I just sell the house as is? Sure, why not? You want your real estate agent look at your house and be like, look, this is what you need to do to get this house sold. It's either going to be at this price point, it's going to be this improvement or this repair. And a good navigator who's actually in the market, knows what's going on, will be able to answer those questions for you. This is back on that spectrum of do it yourself versus bring in somebody who's done this hundreds, if not thousands of times. And I'm just telling you, from all the real estate transactions I've done, a really good agent who is not just doing it to try to get the business, but actually is an expert in their field, is priceless when it comes to those improvements.
Yeah, in my experience, there are you use the word upgrades, but I'm going to say improvements or just like repairs is a good one to use. There are ones that make sense to do, and there are ones that I think probably do not make as much sense. In my experience, if you have something that you can add square footage, like, okay, I can finish an unfinished room and then I can list the house as more square footage than it is currently, that might make a lot of sense to do. If you paint the walls or not update the flooring, but you get the flooring, either repaired or cleaned, or if you like stretch the carpets and have really good deep carpet cleaning, I think a lot of those things can be incredibly valuable. What I would be nervous about if I'm thinking about upgrading is upgrading something that's going to be a preference piece. Like, oh, okay, I'm going to take that tile out and I'm going to replace it with this backsplash that I love. Well, just because you love it doesn't mean that the person coming in and buying the house may love it. So I would be very, very careful doing preferential upgrades right before you sell, because I've seen friends who fall into this trap. They really, our bedroom, we're going to paint it black and it's going to be awesome because we love this. And then the powder room, we're going to do like this really dark red color. And people were like, I don't love that. Like it just didn't show as well. So ultimately they had to paint everything back to like whites and grays and go back to neutral. So I would think long and hard about what you want. This is what real estate agents told me. When someone comes to look at your house to buy it, you want to present as much of a blank canvas as you can so they see themselves in their house, not themselves in your house with the stuff that you love, with your preferences. So I think it's back to a really, really good real estate professional should be able to tell you, yes, do this, yes, do this, yes, do this. No, I wouldn't do that. No, I wouldn't do that. Maybe that doesn't make sense.
When I sold my Atlanta house, Joe, I've said I had two really good real estate agents. Joe Chapman was one who helped me on Georgia. He'll love that. I gave him a shout out. But he came into my house. He goes, look, your cabinets are brown. Your granite countertops are brown. Everything in this house is brown. I'm like, well, how do I fix that? And he goes, well, we can't fix that because it'd be too expensive. But what we can do is we can change all of your wall colors because paint's cheap to where we'll go to this new grayish type color that takes the accent away from those brown cabinets and the brown countertops. And sure enough, we did it. We put this new paint color, completely changed the way the house looked on the inside. And also, I had some issues with the hardwood color. The hardwoods throughout were the wrong color. He said, let's refinish the hardwoods. I had the right type of hardwoods that we could refinish. So we did those two changes, and then the house showed and looked like a completely different place. He also, we had some window treatments that were At the time we built the house, we thought they were great because they had this, cute little chickens on them and stuff like that. He's like, look, we got to take those down. Those just nobody's going to want to buy
You
that
know, I want
country.
my window treatment, some chickens.
No, well, it was like roosters. Roosters were really popular for a
That
season.
was a thing, yeah, in the kitchen.
Back
It's
in the
true.
early to mid 2000s. So I love that he was honest enough to tell us not what we thought we needed to hear. He actually told us what we needed to do to sell the house, and it worked. And it was a completely different place, and it helped us sell the place.
I love it.